Hey everyone, it's me again. Night 3 of sauna talk, I guess. It sounds kind of corny saying it like that, but that's what I named it. So here we go. Um, Sorry, I got sweat in my eye. Just a continuation from last night of my rambling, and just kind of an add on to why I'm doing this. And I don't know what I'm looking to gain from it. Really, anything. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because it's just something that I've just always felt pulled to do, I guess. I've always been intrigued in the idea of helping other people work through things. And since I've gotten out of the army, I've been in a some form of fashion leadership position since 2012. Starting out as a team lead, and then working as a team lead for Toyota, and then kind of going from that to logistics and being a supervisor, and then moving into distribution and becoming a manager, and then moving into a terminal manager for a large regional trucking company, and then regional manager for the whole Pacific Northwest for a propane company. And then dabbled in some global chemical distribution work and logistics type work and storage and handling of hazardous and dangerous goods and materials, and then kind of where I'm at now as a regional operations manager for a temporary HVAC company. And so it's been an amazing journey. I've worked really hard to get where I'm at. I have sacrificed a lot to get where I'm at, but it kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, of the mindset that I had going into adulthood. Was I'm doing exactly what I was hardwired to do, or almost brainwashed to do. I have climbed the corporate ladder, so to speak. Even though I've been in slightly different industries, I've still maintained the climb, and I feel yet unfinished and not satisfied with my growth. So I'm still continuing to climb and want to climb. But at some point, my goal to open my bar and that climb are gonna collide. And I love what I do. I love leading people. I take such honor and pride in having the ability to sit down with people and discuss not only the professional goals or aspirations or issues or problems, but then also get into them personally. And I try really hard to get to know every one of my people personally, because I feel that when I connect to them in a way outside of that professional bubble, then we build a real connection. And if I'm building a real connection, I build a bridge of communication. And if I'm building a solid bridge of communication, then I'm building a pillar of culture that, in my time and in my journey through career, have found that culture at times is just a talking point for some companies rather than anything that is within their institution or company or whatever, ingrained in it, so to speak. I've seen it. I've seen what a company that preaches culture but doesn't practice it looks like, and I've seen it in some of the worst conditions. And when I left that company for that reason, I decided that the next company I go to, their whole core of being who they are is about the culture, and not necessarily a family, but just a group of people that have this drive to want to succeed and succeed together. And that stems also from the Army, where I was with the same 5 guys every single day and then same 30 guys every week. And so the camaraderie there was just unbreakable. And I knew every one of them. I knew their parents' names. I knew their kids. I knew their brothers. I knew their sisters. I've been to their homes and had dinners and holidays with them and stuff. So I always needed that connection. And so I look for that. And so as I went through this and was climbing the corporate ladder and so focused on achieving what I was brainwashed and hardwired to achieve, I lost sight of what was really important, which was my sons. And so I'm always going to go back and touch on that. It's something that I feel very emotional, I guess, for lack of a better word, about, is that how as I talk through these things and explain them and vocalize it and put it on a video and rewatch it, I'm hearing myself say these things and I'm replaying those times in my head. You know, when I remember being asked, hey, when at Toyota, we would work 6 days a week sometimes, and I work gold shift, which is that shitty graveyard shift. And I remember just seeing, overtime for Saturday. And I could have taken time off and spent more time with the boys when they were really young. That's such a great age and pivotal age. And I didn't. I chose the overtime because I was more focused on padding the bank account instead of just budgeting and living within my means at the time. I chose to just make as much money as possible and live day by day like I always have. And what's funny when I say that, as I'm saying it right now, it's funny that back then I wanted to live day by day and enjoy life as it came at me. I'm like I said, I'm going to be 40 next year. Now I'm like, wow, I really do need to live day by day. And I don't mean like in any way financially or whatever that may sound. It just sounded weird how I said it. But what I mean like is tomorrow's never promised. And, there's so much pressure and stress in life right now. And outside pressures, outside of anything that you can even control, that creates pressure. And it takes a lot of patience and a lot of self-control to manage the waters that we all are these days. And some managing a little rougher waters than others, but at the same time too, is we're all paddling a boat. And I think sometimes we forget that we're in this together. And that's kind of why I'm doing this, is I want people to see and know that you're not alone. That I've experienced probably something similar that you've experienced in anything in life. Or maybe I know someone that has, and I can connect you to them. And or maybe, you have a question that you want an unbiased answer on, then I can provide that. Or if you have an idea and you want to, hey, like I have this idea and I don't know if it's fucking crazy or not. Like these damn videos. Like I still don't know if I'm losing my mind or not, but it just feels right. So I'm doing them. And I've gotten encouragement from others that do these type of things that have made me get a little more confident in them. So they are going to be shaky. These are going to be a little rough to start, but I promise I'll smooth them out. And I can't sit in here with paper and read off notes, but again, I want this to be raw and real. But that's kind of why, a little more into me, a little bit why I'm doing this, is that what I've experienced in life and where I've come from and what I've seen and done and been around and done things with and enjoyed and laughed and argued and fought and what have you, that in every one of those moments I was never alone, even though I felt I was alone. And I never felt more alone than I did when I wasn't able to walk in the house and see my sons anymore. And that part was the hardest. And there was nights that I kid you not, I was staying in Airbnbs, trying to find a rental or a lease place, and spend some time in my truck as well. There's some really shitty times through divorce, but I would hear them almost like a ghost. It was so crazy, and I would hear their giggles and laughs and things they would say, and it was those moments that kind of kept me going. And made sure that, no matter what, I was never going to give up. And I didn't. And I'm not going to go into all that on here with the fear of retaliation for whatever reason, even though it's done and over with. I just don't want that drama anymore. But I know a lot of you don't deserve what you got through the process. And I know a lot of you struggle through the process of figuring things out and understanding verbiage and stuff through the divorce court and how scary it is. And just know that I'm here. You're not alone. And we're all in this together. Whether it be the divorce or just day-to-day life, whatever, right? Life's too short to make enemies. I have got to a point in my life where I have no side to stand on. I want to walk in the middle and just help anybody I can. And I'm always going to remain true to my beliefs and my opinions and my faiths. I'm not going to waver any of those things for anybody. And I won't force any of those on anybody either. But now in today's world is the best time for us to find unity. And we find that by doing stuff like this. So my hope is that I get engagement. I hope that I get some comments, questions, complaints, whatever. I mean, heck, roast me. I don't care. You know, any engagement's great engagement for what I've been watching in the YouTube videos on how to do this shit. But I do appreciate everyone that does take the time to watch this, and I hope to continue to build on this. And I appreciate all of you. Until next time.